This is an exercise to test the ability of Affinity to recover shadows. This image was one of 3 shots to experiment with HDR and is therefore deliberately underexposed. As the image was shot in RAW, it opens in the Develop persona when it is taken into Affinity. Develop is Affinity's RAW engine. First, we paint an overlay that selects the shadow area that we wish to recover. The RAW changes we will make only affect the selected area. As this takes a little time, the process will be speeded up. One thing to note is that the rendering of the selection is very slow if the brush is edge aware, so it pays to go round the edges first, then switch off edge awareness. I had not realized this until I did this exercise. As soon as you start making adjustments, the red selection area disappears, but the changes will only apply to the selected area. The first adjustments are contrast and brightness. Then the black point is moved all the way to the left and the first major improvement appears. Adjusting the shadows slider does not produce a very good effect, which is a pity. While the situation has improved slightly along the centre and left of the bird bath, the portion to the right is still far too dark. So we make another overlay covering just that area. The contrast, brightness and black point adjustments are repeated. I tried a small amount of noise reduction here, but it did not make a great deal of difference. That seems to be about as far as we can go in the Develop persona, so we click Apply and see what further adjustments to the shadows can be made. Before doing so, I took a snapshot of the image at this stage of development so that I could return to this point at any time. There is also a full history line if you wish to do it that way. This is just a simple brightness and contrast adjustment. In this case, I'm using a blend range curve to make brightness and contrast apply preferentially to the darker areas. It is an alternative to making a detailed selection. Another snapshot. The shadow area to the right of the bird bath is still far too dark, so I applied another brightness and contrast layer. One useful feature of Affinity is that each adjustment layer and filter layer has its own built-in mask. So what I'm doing here is inverting the selection, setting the paintbrush to white and painting in the area where I wish this new brightness and contrast adjustment to apply. By switching on and off the two brightness and contrast adjustments, you can see the improvement that has been made over the developed raw image.